One day, oh, Tuesday only on Fish Story. Today, I said today. Today I sing on the Fish Story. 1 cat, 2 cat, 3 cat, 4. My cat's bugging me at the door. 1 cat, 2 cat, 3 cat, 4. My cat's bugging me at my floor. He's got a stool and he is white, but it's a she, so I will correct myself for the record. How's it going, everybody? Look, we got a blurry cat. Look at that blurry cat. It's because she's underage. She's only 1 year old, so it blurs her out, right? It blurs you out. You're all well. You were blurred out. I don't know what's going on, but we got the kitty. We got party going on here. I am obviously today I'm suffering a little bit. I've got some of my autoimmune junk going on in my skin and kind of on my I got some hives and a rash with the lupus stuff, but we're doing all right. How's everybody doing today? Just don't mind my blotchy red and itchy appearance here. I apologize for it. Also, we were putting together a shed outside, one of those like plastic tough shed things that came for like the backyard that my wife ordered. So yeah. So I have some hey Mr. Tallyman, what's up, John? How's it going? So I have some kind of cool news. We can go on the rover cam in a moment and we can check out what's going on. But first, before I do anything, I want to shout it out. You make me want to shout, hit my hands up and shout, get rid of my face off the screen. Ooh, ooh. And I want to share this. I want to share this with the world. So, NativeAquariums is a fellow that I met in one of the online Facebook groups. And I thought, he's got some cool fish. He's been catching and or breeding fish for a while now. And he's got everything from freshwater mollies to melanistic gambusia that I believe he breeds these in particular. They're kind of the Dalmatian ones. And this whole thing also sparked a whole other question. And I'll get to that in a moment. But basically about why do we see albino fish more than any other type of fish in the hobby? Like, why is that the more than leucistic, more than platinum, more than melanistic, the all black, and more than the platinum being the blue eyes with the white feature? But there's also a full like metallic platinum in fish where they've got metallic eyes and white or metallic shimmering features. But any case, that was a whole side tangent that came from the fact that there are a lot of wild melanistic or partially melanistic, like these little Dalmatian golden top minnows and or gambusia. It happens a lot in the wild in Florida, and I think it's because they actually blend in better unless it's blonde sand, which is not the kind of sand that Florida has. Florida has coral-based sand that's a lot more white to the appearance, and so the fish that look more like this here, like silver or translucent, actually blend in a lot better than full on the yellowy leucistic or the Dalmatian kind. But right here, as you can see when they're on the sand, they're all pretty suspect, with the black and Dalmatian being way more obvious. And even the dark colored fish, even green fish or other fish, being really obvious. But as soon as you put them in a nature background like this, where you've got plant growth and other stuff, suddenly the albino, the leucistic, and the melanistic, especially, morph becomes a lot more obvious. like why that doesn't get selected out of the population, because you could definitely see how a fish could blend in with this, with these textures on them, and how a lot of fish look like that anyways. So I just kind of found that little thing interesting. And somebody was asking, are there more albino critters in the world, or are there more melanistic, or is it all up to selection? Snakehead news. Yeah, I do have some snakehead news. I mean, just that they're spreading basically. But what I was going to say is that first, I just wanted to shout out this guy, NativeAquariums, because I got a shipment of fish from Florida that are native species to Florida. As you can see, this is his eBay account. He's got like 52 or 51 good reviews, and I would say he was good. He packed everything like a fish farm or an expert would do so. And honestly, I filmed the unboxing, but what happened was the shipping courier got, I don't know if it was the thunderstorms or what, but they took, instead of delivering on Thursday from Monday or Tuesday to Thursday, like a 2-day, they had it 7 days and they didn't know where it went. Yet he packed it so well that 2 fish did not make it, and they're in a bag, and I filmed that, and they're like the first ones, of course. And so I thought all of them were going to be toast, and the box smelled bad. But actually, out of like 8 bags of fish, I only lost, I think, a total of 3 fish out of about 27 fish, 26 fish, which is pretty impressive for being lost in the mail for a week. And that's because he put them perfectly in breather bags, wrapped that in a wet cloth on half of it, and then had that in styro. But it was this guy, NativeAquariums. I actually bought his mollies, and then he sent me extras. And so that is, I'm working on a Florida native tank, and I want your guys' input. I want your thoughts on it. But I just wanted to mention him first because I want to shout out someone who I bought something from that did a good job. Don't know anything about his background. He may be a saint. He may be a poker player. He may be a dirty, rotten scoundrel. But I kind of doubt it. He's pretty cool. So yeah. But eBay did reverse their plan. And so I was like, hey, eBay, I'm going to hit you up for some fish. Actually, I was just looking for some elastomas, and he has all 3-4 common species. Plus, he's got the 2 Carolina ones that he goes up and has collected and then bred. So, I mean, Andy does rice fish and stuff. So it's pretty cool, and I wanted to give him a shout out. NativeAquariums is the name of that. And like I said, he also does offer really, really affordable, like 2-day shipping, and didn't really charge for the boxing and stuff. And I bought it without him making a special item or anything for me. Like, I bought a $15 item, and with shipping and everything, it came out to like $29. It was wild how affordable it was. So I just wanted to give him a shout out, because a lot of people sell native fish not for $5 or $10 a fish, but they literally, quadruple what that price would be. All right, so we got Johnny Best here, not to be confused with Johnny Lots of Numbers, or Johnny Lots of Numbers starting with a 5, or Johnny Lots of Numbers starting with a 6, but Johnny Best, the original, the OG Johnny Best, giving us 5 memberships for all y'all out there, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, buddy, and welcome new members. As a new member to the channel, all members, even at the $199 level, you guys get access to basically my documents, anything that I saved about stuff I researched, anything that I posted to the community tab, and you get my extra Fishery news update episodes and science updates, which is over 200 episodes, usually audio based. And sometimes we even do streams that are more audio based. We're like, so far, this one could have been audio based. I haven't shown you much other than on the, I guess, the eBay screen, but it could have been, yeah. So thank you and welcome to y'all, and thanks again to Johnny. Also, thank you to all you guys who are members. Of course, you guys rock. And I'd like to know if you want to do more member live streams. If you feel like I get to your questions well enough in the comments here, if that would be a use of my time that you like, or if you'd prefer a different use of my time, like making a members only video, whatever it may be. Let me know what you think you'd like if I could be doing it better. I always appreciate the feedback. Also, Mike, thank you so much, buddy. We got a super chat also that already came in. Mike, 1993, buddy, with the big old smiling profile pic there. Thank you so much for that super chat. That will be very helpful for the cat. I can have her voice box removed, I hear, for the value bargain price of $9.99, whatever. Actually, it's exactly whatever YouTube takes out, and then whatever the taxes take out. It's that leftover amount. That's exactly how much it costs for me to get her de-meowed. So I'm gonna do it, but I heard it only works for like 2 minutes. So it's like you have to pay a lot to get the good version. That's not mean to cats. So I'm gonna get the like kind version that costs really cheap, like $4. No, I don't know what I'm ranting on about, but how are we doing, everybody? It's so good to see y'all lovely people in here. We'll go look at my new fish in a moment. Ryan Harris, what's up? Good to see you. If you have like 10 takes, you could get spicy. What are we going on? Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourself, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to breeze through the comments up till now. Then I'll tell you I'm in the building. I'm caught up with chat. And then I will be able to answer anything that's at Fishery. And then, I can help hopefully answer questions, thoughts, concerns, and complaints. I hope it's mostly complaints. When I'm not feeling well, nothing beats water. Even though I do still have my vice, my Dr. Pepper cream soda for the day. Okay. So we got Ryan Harris in here, obviously. Also, oh wow, whoa! Ryan saying he's pretty sure he almost got robbed, like at a fish swap, maybe. Wow, I'm really glad you didn't. I have been robbed 3 times in my life. 2 were definitely my fault. And how can it be your fault that you get robbed? Well, you hang out with the wrong kind of people for a decade, and they know that you have either small change or things like I don't know, a used third of a 20-ounce Gatorade bottle, anything of value, a car stereo, 8-track from 1982 that doesn't work, stuff that's worth robbing people, going to multiple years of prison for. Anyhow, Mike, good to see you. Justin Starbuck, Cosmin. Let's see here. We got who else is in here? Who was in here? Smile Cracker, what's up? Andrew Charon, what's up? Dave's Aquarium Thoughts. Hey Dave. Sorry guys, I gotta try not to itch or rub my face. It's very annoying right now. I'm trying my best, but as you can see, I just get these hives, and you'll watch them just kind of pop up random places. Maybe someone can do a lovely time lapse of one of my live streams. I don't have the bright lights on today because of that. I didn't put up the green screen because I was like, all you're gonna see is like real clear hives. Anyways, Angie McGee, so good to see you. You can break my body, but you will never break my spirit. Robert Bennett, hello, buddy. Johnny, good to see you. Obviously, I said that to Mike 1993. Also, CC. Also, Nano Aquarium, guys. So good to see you. We need to do a contest again soon. Speaking of winners from the past, I mean, you're still a winner, but you were a winner in the past. Also, Jeff Kane, what's up? Kitty, what is your deal? Florida invertebrates would be interesting. I agree. I need more like grass shrimp. I need to find what else there is other than grass shrimp. Jeff Kane, good to see you. G. Carlton, good to see you. Who else is in here? Branton Lightcap. Now there's a name. There's a name. It sounds like you would lead a charge of a brigade. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of charge of the light brigade. Anyways, Claire H, good to see you. Lerda, what's up? CP or CR Fish Cheryl, what's up? Good to see you. We were actually we went to the Fish concert, or I didn't. My wife went to the Fish concert this week in Seattle, and my friends are all going. Well, they all went to the one in Portland, but they're all going to the one in San Francisco. A lot of them went down there for Fish the band. Hi, baby girl. What's up? Why do you need me so badly tonight? What's your deal? All right, let's see. Who else is hiding in here? I see Nancy B from Tennessee. Hannibal Lecter. Holy smokes, we got a Hannibal Lecter in here. Hey, Hannibal. Bambi, what's up? Good to see you, Bambi. Nancy B, always good to see you, obviously, too. And who else? Mick, we got a Mick M. Mickem. We got a Mickem. Mick M. Darbwire, what's up? And Splashy Fins and Cheeky Hens, love it. Cassandra, what's going on? And L. Smith, Beauty and Art from Atlantic, Canada. Is Atlantic a town, or are you just from like the Atlantic seaboard in Canada? I would understand either. If it's something else, I have no idea. Branton is definitely in charge of a brigade. If he sends pics, don't look at them. Yeah, okay. So anyway, yes, new fish, Mick. So let me get that rolling. Let me get that flowing. So we're gonna be going guerrilla filming here, and so pardon if there's some feedback. Pull your headphones off just in case if you need to. And hold on, let me get rid of everything that could make noise here. And I have some videos for you too. So the conundrum that I had is, let me tell you about this order real quick. Before I got these fish, I ordered them from Florida. I ordered them from like Lakeland, Florida, which is, south to central, center of the, closer to the west part of the state, but also like an hour inland from like Tampa Bay or St. Pete, kind of. But not all the way in the middle of the state, bisectionally, but up and down laterally, it's somewhere between the middle and the south part of the state. So yeah, Tampa-ish, I guess. Almost, almost Sarasota, a little north of Sarasota and in, I guess. I don't know, somewhere in there, like Lakeland, I believe. Anyways, he lives where all the farmers are and stuff. And really, there's some cool stuff. He is located at Gulf of America. Is he? No, he's not on the Gulf. He's on the he's inland from that. He's on some rivers, I think. But a side note, I like the name, the Gulf of America, because that's what it is. There's North and South America, Central America, the Yucatan. Gulf of Mexico makes sense too, but it's the Gulf of Mexico and the United States of America, or the USA, and that's real clunky. So Gulf of America actually is more geographically appropriate. I think that was a good choice, because the rest of the world's actually going to look at that and think, oh, good, the Americans are calling North America, or it could be Gulf of North America, or Gulf of Central America, I suppose. But they think of that in most countries, America, unless specifically already referenced as the United States of America. America could mean Canada, it could mean Belize, or it could mean Brazil. In a lot of places, some places even teach that it's one continent, basically, like North and South America. Anyways, so let's see here. Political tangent, 10 points for -10 for Hufflepuff. Hey, Mike, you started it, my friend. So Gulf of the Americas. Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, but that's where it came from, Lakeland, Florida, and it came up, and I love that area. I have been to that part of the country a lot of times. I've gone and seen imperial aquatics or tropicals. I've been in Ruskin, and I toured Seagrass like 7 years ago now, 6 years ago, and yeah, I think I've been to almost every large farm in that part of Florida, so that's cool. And there's so many weird fish living in ditches and living in the creeks and ponds and stuff around there that you never know what you're going to find. Like there's actually more African jewel cichlids in that part of Florida than native fish in a lot of the waterways, which that isn't too bad. Uh, that isn't too bad when you're going collecting. However, it's terrible for the local, uh, for the local critters. Cat, seriously, what is your deal? She's gonna chew all the wires on the computer today, and she wants my wife to come home. My wife's a little late today, by 8 minutes, and that's why she's whining and making herself a nuisance. Aren't you? Yeah, you're a nuisance. You're a nuisance. Okay, so the package was supposed to Anna, good to see you. Angie, good to see you. But yeah, the package was supposed to be here on the 16th or 17th at the latest, and it got here on the 21st at like 8 o'clock at night, and it was the worst day of the week weather-wise. It had been 65, and literally when it arrived it was 51 or so in the day, that evening, which was still the high of the day, and raining. And so I got these fish cold. I mean, they were in the back of a truck all night, clearly, or the night before, and all of that day delivering in the back of a truck in a styrofoam cooler. So the cooler was really cold, and I was really worried. They are native fish to Florida, but they can't stand like 40 degrees cold usually. Usually more like low 60s, high 50s is like their kind of breaking point. And then they start getting really stressed, and then they don't survive. Do shrimps eat water fleas or copepods? Yeah. Oh, do shrimps eat water fleas or copepods? Shrimps will not really generally do that from what I've seen. They prefer to filter feed, even the kind that aren't fan shrimp, even like Neocaridina and Caridina shrimp, prefer to eat like little bits of food, and they'll even catch little tiny bits of food out of the water. They have like a little, if you look carefully, their little paws, their claws, they do have a set with like kind of a hand on them, even though it's really tiny. Anyways, so I want to show you guys these fish, but and thank you very much for that super chat, Johnny. Appreciate it, buddy. You rock. Ooh, pizza's ready for Mike. Well, I hope you enjoy your pizza, sir. And Sketty Nona, what's up? And Sketty Nana is what I wanted to say. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, they'll eat most dead things. They'll eat most tasty things. So tasty good things? Yeah, for sure. Would growing garlic out of an aquarium be a bad idea? Yeah, probably. I'm guessing. I think it would rot, but I don't know for sure. I think if you soak garlic in the aquarium, since it's a tuber plant, that it would actually rot the plant. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong. I've never thought of hydroponically growing garlic. I think when they do that, maybe the bulb kind of grows, and you put like the bulb in and it grows down, and then maybe more bulbs kind of pop off where that was. I'm not sure. My idea would be that, honestly, it puts a lot of energy, or a lot of chemicals and biological stuff in the aquarium that I think is a bit much at the level of like a whole garlic clove sitting in there, let alone if it ends up rotting or falling apart in there. But I'm sure the nutrients in the tank would be plenty to grow garlic, and you know, it'd be healthy garlic. So if you could put it in a sump that didn't share the water or something, like you just used water from the tank in a separate system, that probably would work if you could keep the bulb out of the water. Unless I'm totally wrong and maybe garlic bulbs can totally be submerged. I don't know. Like potatoes and things, I don't think they're supposed to be soggy wet though more than, you know, a day or something at a time when it rains. So Ryan Harris was wondering about vinegar eels. I figured they would just eat them once they died. Yeah, you know, that's another good point about shrimp. They probably will. Yeah, it probably will just end up dying. A lot of like Daphnia, brine shrimp, I know a lot of those just die, and the shrimp will kind of scavenge what's on the floor. But actually having a whole bunch of brine shrimp, way more than the fish eat, dying in your tank each day adds up to a lot of bioaccumulated waste. It both turns into nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, all that. But more so, it turns into just like organic compounds of junk that kind of sparks algae and or foul the water. But yeah, as Anna says, it won't usually produce full bulbs in water anyways. All right, so that's Anna's take, and I that sounds very reasonable to me. It really does. Okay, so let's Roy Baker, welcome. Come on in. Come on in, make yourself at home. How do you feel about colonizing a community tank with Moina daphnia? I love it, but the problem is fish will eat them all in like 2 days. You know, you may be able to colonize daphnia in a well-planted aquarium, but you're never going to have a dense population unless it's such green water that literally your fish can't even see, like in front of their face. Like my hand, like this is like right in front of their face, blurry. Then you can actually have green water, paramecium, daphnia, you know, things like that, and your fish might not find them all because they zoom around and they hide in the corners, they hide at the bottom, etc. But if you're just wanting them in your tank, you'll have them, but they'll probably be at 90 or 99%, depending on how many fish you have, how many plants you have, etc., etc. Population decimation, probably 90 to 99% would be the guess off the top of my head when I look at a tank that I've started with daphnia, put fish in for breeding. It's a great way to prep a tank for a spawning fish, is to do that and allow the water to just sit there without a filter with the light on 24 hours a day, so it's green water and stuff like that. Daphnia aren't smart enough to hide. Yeah, they will run and they'll do little wiggle waggles, but no, they're not super smart. No, they didn't go to night school and get a B, that's for sure. So let me see here. Let me get us going with the trip to go see the fishies that I got. Okay, here is the Earth, round. All right, so StreamYard, this is what I need. StreamYard, 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 doop, 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 doop. We are live. Enter the studio, mute the mic, mute the mic. Studio, entering studio. So let me turn this around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of singing this song, and I turn around right. Oh wait. And I want to know. You ought to know. And I'm here. to remind you of the cross-eyed bear that you gave to me. It's not fair to remind me of the mess you left when I went away. All right. You guys hear me? Let's go to solo. Solo dolo. That's better. Pond puppies, hello, welcome. And Big Steve's glass boxes. What's up, ABC Biotope Creations? Good to see you. Good to see you. Did somebody say yo Ken? Oh, Kenny, what's up? Yeah, and running water. What's up? I thought we were talking about Kenny E for a moment, but no, I see now. We got ABC Biotope in here. What's going on? And let's see here, all the critters. All right, so do we got, should I put light on a Daphnia tank? Sure can. Copy, Mike's good. All right. So looking at all this mess, let's just get rid of this. Good evening. Good evening. All right, we're on Fishy Cam. Dun, 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 dun. Fishy Cam. Fishy Cam. Fishy. So I wanted to show you guys this. First of all, I put together a freaking shed with my neighbor. And real easy to put together, not a high bar there. I got more tanks that I'm cleaning out here. And then here is the leftover fishies that came last night. And unfortunately, oh wow, raccoons actually took the top bag. Unfortunately, some of the spotted sunfish did not make it. That's unfortunate. And actually, you know what, guys? Let me just move this so my wife can pull her car a little more forward. All right. And we'll go look at the living fish now. Kitty, no. No. You are a sneaky girl. You're a sneaky girl. But I'm not letting you out. And hello, green screen. I hardly knew you. Guys, check this out. I got to show you this before we move on. So my beautiful magnolia tree on a beautiful day in Seattle, it's about 70 degrees. The magnolia tree, it's lost all its blossoms, but isn't it looking beautiful? And the apple tree out there and the pear trees are starting to blossom. They started out a beautiful red and pink, and now they're this. And the cat's going to jump up onto this shelf and try to ruin all my books, which I'm not happy with. Kitty, get down. All right. So fish. So the ones that impress me the most so far have been the killifish, but the or I should say the leaf killifish are the most impressive. So here we can see one of the little leaf killifish females, I believe. Let's see, is this a female? Yep, a female. And she's kind of got a leopard print pattern going on. And yeah, she's doing good in here. This is just fluval stratum and crushed coral. And there's some shrimp in here with them that had babies, because I figured that'd be a good food source to just have on the fly. And then also, I think you can see that blue, and you can see another fish there. So I've got two pairs. And look at this beautiful blue that is here. Let me chase them with a plant so that I don't actually have to touch them with the turkey baster, because I don't want to bruise them or anything. They're so pretty. Let's herd them this way. Can we herd them this way without stressing out their color too much? Let's see. Yes, here we go. Here they come. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that money shot of the pygmy sunfish. These are the Gulf Coast pygmy sunfish. A beautiful, beautiful little fish. And I'm gonna get them their own tank soon. Don't worry. Like, this is a 2.5 gallon. This is kind of their quarantine tank essentially, but they are so beautiful. That NativeAquariums guy hooked it up. Look at the dominant male. Even though they're stressed and they're in a completely different water, they're still like really beautiful blue, and they'll get even more spectacular soon, I'm sure. My other ones, yeah, look at the blue on that. This one, it's even more intense, but it's kind of hiding. Um, the the other fish I have are in here that are sunfish, and these are the Everglade. They're a little smaller, and these were captive bred. So I don't know if that is necessarily what did it. But on these guys, they don't seem to get as bright. And here you can see this little guy. That's a male that's really young, and just barely has any metallic shimmer. Here's another young male. Where is my big male? I have one older male in this crowd. Oh, here he is. Right here, I think. And he's barely blue. Yeah, see? Barely blue right now. And the tank's kind of dirty. So this tank, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then let's get this out of here. Let me set some things aside for us to have a party in this room. So then we've got over here, of course, just while we're here, we've got the world's smallest rice fish species. And, I've had them in here doing their thing, and they're only in a 2.5 gallon. So I didn't know what to expect if they could colony breed in such a small space. And I think the verdict is no. These ones, this species, will not, even though I think other Medaka can colony breed or will community breed. These ones don't seem to do well with their babies. They seem to eat their babies. Also, these ones, though, I've been doing well with, oddly enough. I've had these spawn, and a few have even made it. And these are the exclamation point rasboras. So kind of wild that they're doing so well. And I also got a couple Andouzi pencilfish babies that were said to be not doing well. They were said to be dying on entry to the store. So I put them in my green shrimp tank. They're in here chilling. Hopefully they'll come back eating lots of Daphnia and fresh goodies. Then we got my Beta Mahachiensis tank, or Embolus tank, sorry. Then we've got these guys doing well, checkerboard cichlids. Also in here, we've got some baby checkerboard cichlids from the last batch, and then the two parents. But the star of the show, obviously, is going to be what's over here. And I don't honestly know. This is a new tank. This is a quarantine tank. So we'll see who's visible. But here it looks like we've got the bluefin killies. Yeah, these are the bluefin killies here. And they're not colored up at all. So I probably need to add more crushed coral. That would be my guess. They are not colored up at all. And therefore, that's a bummer because they're incredibly beautiful fish. So, oh, that's a male back there that is colored up. He's got red in his tail. So maybe some will be okay. But I see, yeah, he's got red in his tail and in his blue in his other fins. Maybe we'll be okay on them. All right, and then up here we have some pygmy sunfish. Those are the ones with the dots on their tail. And those are fun. We also have a couple top minnows. And the pygmy sunfish, I think, are pretty cool too. There's one of the pygmy sunfish here with the dot on the caudal part of the tail. And then down here, oh yeah, there we go. There's a nicely colored blue fin killie. Look at that fish. Oh, my favorite fish from all of Florida, and I'm not kidding. And that's with the female right there too. Right on. That showed up for you. And I'm trying to get, I'll talk to you a little more. So then we've got two of these sunfish that are the blue stripe sunfish, pygmy blue stripe sunfish. Then we've got cypress darters and swamp darters, I believe. Looks like we have maybe three swamps and two cypress. And yeah, so right now there's nothing in the tank really, other than there's some plants up here, and I thought maybe some of the minnows or something would be hanging out in here, but no such luck. But we've got the pygmy sunfish chilling in here, and they seem to have some sort of ick issue on their fins. They're the only ones who do, but they seem to have some sort of ick. So we've got the sunfish couple, and we've got the darters down there on the bottom. See the darters? There's a bunch of them over here, or there's like 4 over here. And then we've got the bluefin killies all over in here. And then up here, look at this beauty. We've got the Butamus, is that a rain killifish maybe? Or it might be, actually, I don't know which fish that is there. It looks different than a pygmy sunfish to me. It's got yellow on it and blue and stripes. That might be like a rain killifish. So they weren't all labeled, but in any case, we also got a couple fry in there. Oh, and we got a Mad Tom. So I bet you the Mad Tom, I bet you money that the Mad Tom is let me roll up my sleeve and we'll see if we can find the yellow Mad Tom. It's actually a green, I think is the species official name is green Mad Tom. Let's see if he's, yep, right here. So we got a catfish too. See if we can bring him to the front a little bit. Just a little bit. No, I don't know where he went. Oh, he went to go hide under that rock. All right. So anyways, the little Mad Tom, oh, here he is. He's back. Green Mad Tom, yellow Mad Tom, whatever you want to call him. Just don't call him ugly. Come on. He's out of the picture. Okay. So those are the fish. They are acclimating right now. I've got up here, this is my hardest tank and water-wise. So let me tell you real quick. Let me go back to my perch in a moment and I'll tell you what's had to unfold for this to happen. I had to acclimate those fish and figure out what I was going to do with a load of fish that I thought were all on the verge of being not alive. Look at this bluefin killie. They're my favorite fish from Florida. Look at those beautiful males. Look at that with the blue, and it's got a little bit of yellow. Here it comes. A little bit of blue, a little bit of red, and then they usually have a little bit of yellow on the front of the dorsal fin. Oh, they're just so gorgeous. Oh, I love them. And that Mad Tom looks great too. And whatever that fish is that's alone, it's a killie of some sort. We'll have to ID that in a moment. I can pretty confidently throw out some assumptions. Also, the cypress darter is a little different than the swamp darters in that they're really elongated, the darters from Florida. And this one back in the water, that's the cypress darter, and it has kind of almost a cross-eyed look, and it's real skinny, kind of a pointy nose compared to over here. We've got a swamp darter that has that higher crested and a little more iridescence and kind of square pattern. I'm pretty confident that I have those right, but if you're someone from Florida and you're like, you idiot, you got those switched around, feel free to tell me. Also, we're hoping this water doesn't get too hot and it's staying right at 72, 73, which is like, mwah, chef's kiss, perfect, doing well. Also, just because people might be curious before I head back to the chair, how my gudgeon or my gobies are doing. So Chang gets these in the panda loaches from China, mainland China, and sadly he will not be getting any more. Now I have color pictures of when these white cheek gobies, when their fins turn bright orange, like basically a peachy, fiery orange, somewhere in this kind of tone color range. And then right here, here's one that still has it. That's the second one. See, you can still see that kind of crimson or orange on the fin in the right light. And then you can see the orange checkerboard pattern, and you can see the throat stripes are also kind of an orange. He's looking at me because he wants me to go get him scuds from the tanks above. But then we've got this guy here, and this is the crimson goby. What's the difference between a goby and a darter? Nothing. But this is the crimson fella, and he's got the yellow with the blue. Also, the Bedodia is getting pretty big. That's the biggest Bedodia I've ever had, or Madagascar rainbow fish. I think it might be a different species than the ones I'm used to be frank. Also, this guy with the red tail, the Sahulensis, that Gary Lang said to get rid of now 8 months ago, still kicking, still doing great. Hasn't spread to any other fish. I think it's just a genetic like fluke, and I think I should try to breed it, honestly. It is a female, which is weird because I only have one other female out of the 8 in here. So it's kind of weird, the odds, the ratio, the way it broke up. It's kind of odd and surprising to me. Anyways, so the other thing I've got going on is we do have the least killifish tank over here. And so the least killifish are cruising around in here, and they have been spawning in here. And so that means that we got quite a few Florida fish. So we've got the cypress swamp darters, the striped the striped blue pygmy sunfish. Then we also have the bluefin killie, the mad tom, and then if you add in one more of the pygmy killifish, the topwater killifish. So that's 6 species in the biotope tank. Now, right now, because I need to treat that potential ick problem and I'm waiting to see if any other problems arise, I'm not going to put any more stuff in there, really. And I'm also going to kind of wait here with just Elodia and the crushed coral and make sure I get them comfortable. Like these guys have acclimated and they're doing their thing. They have bred in the past. These ones are, right now, they don't look so happy though. I don't know. I don't know why. I just, maybe some more fresh food would make them happier. Not sure. Maybe less cat in their life would make them happier. I don't know. But what I was going to show you guys also is that I'll show you my ponds where we're drawing from. Cat, really? You need to be in the picture this much? Come on. Cat. Come on. Okay. No. Okay. So the tubs are doing great. What I'm going to be feeding these fish, making sure they acclimate, and I made a whole video about how I had to acclimate these suckers. But right in here, if we can see it, I hope you can. There are so many mosquito larvae and Daphnia. There's so much Daphnia in here. It's absurd. Can you see all the Daphnia, guys? Those are the big ones you're seeing in the big dots, but there's also little ones all over in here. And I've also got this tank that's full of isopods, and it seems to have more of the cyclops, scuds, and isopods, which is odd to me. This tank that's in the full sun has the water isopods, and it also has Daphnia cyclops, and it has ostrocods. And then these two have these long scuds in them, and the last one has mosquito larvae and green water. So we've got quite a few different things to work with. I also have these plexiglass tubs, bins that I got from Aquarium Co-op. A year and a half ago. Sorry guys, I think we might be lagging out. Let me get back to my post. Hopefully we don't echo too much. Hold on here. All right. All right, guys. So yeah, that's my story. That's my story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Also, if you guys are wondering where I got those native fish, it's from NativeAquariums on eBay. That's who sent them. I bought them on there. He hooked me up with more than I expected. I think he knew I was a YouTuber. And no, I'm pretty sure he knew who I was from YouTube and from the fact that I've spoken at all the clubs down there and stuff in his hometown area / toured all the fish farms in his area. And he's, got a home farm basically. But that's what's going on. And I need to figure out what I want to put in that tank. What all is going to grow out. I want to grow out, if they'll have me, if they'll work well, the bluefin killie is the most underrated fish native to America, in my opinion. Now, I could put some flagfish in there, and that might also do cool things, but they're kind of jerks. So are the sunfish. So, Misa Torn, Barbara Jackson, what's going on? Bvis, what's going on? Or BVIS. Ace, what's up? And who else is in here? Who else came in here? Brenda T. And Happy 2017. What happened? Are you still happy? Did you get more happy? Did you get less happy? I have to know. Thanks, Alex, for all the things I learned from you. Oh, well, thank you for being here. A member of over 18 months now. A year and a half we've been together. We've been united, and it feels so good. Alex, don't sing. You're really annoying. Oh, maybe I should keep singing. Holy catfish, holy yellow catfish, mad Tom catfish. We need to have more native fish in this hobby. The thing is, the longevity isn't always the best because my fish room gets too warm sometimes. So this year I'm going to have ice packs ready in the freezer, even though we have a tiny freezer. Our freezer is pathetic. It's over there. It's that bottom, that is our entire freezer, and it opens. And so when the power's out, it opens and there's no bottom to the drawer. It's a slide out rack, which is great for viewing things and seeing what's in there. But all the cold air just falls right out, and then our food is no longer cold for the power outage. So in any case, I got to throw in those cold water bottles in the future, and like right when the power goes out, if it goes out in the summer from heat and like summer storms, if it goes out in the winter for cold, hopefully that room won't be a problem. They're native fish. So yeah, but hopefully, I thought, I'm not even going to have to set up this tank. I'm sadly not going to get to set up this tank. Oh, guys, look who got his mommy or her mommy. This cat has wanted its mommy for hours. And listen, wait. Can we come closer? Let's be quiet for the kitty.
She's stinky.
Did you just go poop, kitty? Okay, there's your ASMR of kitty cat. Anyways, Johnny, thank you again, man. I really do appreciate that super chat. That goes a long way. And maybe I will order. Maybe I'll order more native fish, but I need to figure out what plants I want to put in there, because as much as I want to put, I do. Yeah. So you've got a JBJ chiller right now, been sitting unused for 2 years, down to 42 already, Poncho, he said. So I have a JBJ chiller too, and I used it. It worked fine, but then I didn't have any fish that really needed the chilling. And now in the summer, I may very well need to use that chiller. So I will be trying it. That unit though is heavy as heck. And to chill like 100 gallons, which I only have a 40 gallon in there, to chill that, it's absurd. It's like, I don't know, 80 pounds, and like it only chills like 80 or I don't know, 100 gallons or something at max. And it chills, I believe, from room temperature, it'll take 20 degrees off at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So like, 25 Celsius, it'll take it down to what, 16 or 18 Celsius, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Kabamba frittata, Bacopo Monieri. Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. My wife got me jasmine rice and pork dumplings from Trader Joe's, which are favorites. Also, the hummus and the flatbread, the non-flatbread, pretty epic. Barbara Jackson, always good to see you. Get some rainbow shiners. So BVIS, I love rainbow shiners. They're great, but they are native to Alabama and they don't color up year round. So as much as I do like them, they get a little bit bigger than like the bluefin killies I've got as my main schooling fish in here. They're called a bluefin killifish, but they're not really, I don't know. They don't feel like killifish to me. I've never kept them in the aquarium though. I've always seen them in nature swimming in groups, like 5 to 15 loose in a school, kind of all cruising below the top of the water. And yeah, pretty beautiful fish though. I'll try to get some still shots for you guys tonight. Also, I've got the new camera that Adam Ragusia, Bella Lugosia is dead. No, that Adam Ragosia sent me the Canon EOS 5D body, and then I've got only a macro lens for it, which is great for fish. So I'm not, that's great. Hopefully, I'll have some cool close-ups. Especially once I get the tank planted a little bit. I'm pretty excited. What is she meowing about? Holy cannoli! Okay. Wow, my wife went crazy at the store with the, oh, we can't see it. It's not in focus. Can you walk towards the food for a sec? Towards the food. Walk back so, because it's focused on you, but it kind of gets, I guess it doesn't even want to, it won't even focus on the food. The food is too graphic for viewers.
Yeah, like asparagus,
raspberries. Oh yeah, see, my wife sells produce. She's secretly trying to sell all of y'all
eggs.
What did you say? $103 eggs? Well, how much were they? $12.99. $3.99. Oh, you got them at Trader Joe's.
Favorite pasta.
Oh, I do love that pasta for like $1.99. Love that stuff. Yeah, Trader Joe's has some deals. That's for and the best butter in the world, Kerrygold. All right, so now that I've done my ad for Trader Joe's, no, I actually used to work there. All right, people are saying hi. Johnny says hi. Hi. And yeah, hey Johnny. She says hi back if you didn't hear. But yeah, so guys, that's what's going on in my little world. And I am making a video. Well, I already made the video. I'm editing the video tonight about how I acclimated fish in a hurry. Oh my gosh, the cat is being ridiculous. What is she doing? She's just clawing you for attention. She'll hop in our refrigerator off the ground there. And oh, no, instead she's going to hop over there. Just to be a little brat. Just to be a brat. And then she'll jump across and knock things over. But anyways, yeah. I feel like my message is getting Google modded for some reason. It may be. That's the only message I've seen, buddy. You can message me privately if you need to tell me something. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. What's up? Good to see you, Boots and Cats. Why is the camera hallucinating? It has like a blur mode for the background on streams to help throttle bandwidth. so that like you guys, hopefully if you're on a mobile device or not at Wi-Fi, like if you're using your data plan, it'll be less data in theory. But yeah, oh, I'm sorry, man. Sorry to hear your mom's in the ICU. That's a bummer. Hang in there, dude. Hang in there. And I hope that, you know, that cleaning the fish tanks can like be on hold for a little bit. Maybe just like vibing with the fish, you know. I like looking at things like, you know, how the fish connects to the world, like playing a game of like 7 degrees of separation with fish. So like, okay, I want to look at an industrial crane and a fish. How do I get from one topic to the other? And, you know, like as a mind exercise to keep my thoughts busy, I'll say like, okay, so I just saw a video of a crazy guy in Austin hanging from a crane, swinging around, going nuts, right? Just randomly thought I'd mention that. But industrial crane. So looking at fish, what could they have to do with the crane? Well, they kind of have to do with the fact that buildings, actually several years ago, in rimless aquariums, low iron glass was very scarce. And all of the sudden, the low iron glass went up in price so high, and the pieces needed to be big because the places that I think it's called the annealing chamber. When you anneal glass, you cool it slowly so it doesn't shatter, and it needs to take like 24 hours to several days in some cases if it's a big window that's thick, or an aquarium window that holds back a lot of water. And so they were using up all that really high quality low iron glass for like penthouse, you know, apartment windows, for CEO office windows, whatever, for windows up high that needed clarity, strength in 150-mile-an-hour winds, and the strength structurally of their own thing. So you've got that going on. Well, those windows need to be lifted, you know, by cranes, obviously. So then you think about, okay, so we're getting the same building materials as these skyscrapers. And in some cases, there was competition over who would get the contract to make, you know, 10,000 aquariums versus making another skyscraper in America or in Dubai or whatever. And the aquariums were able to pay a higher premium per square inch, generally speaking, and or take offcuts of bigger scrap pieces. But you know, how can you then say fish and, you know, your aquarium are connected to the crane? I don't know. There's got to be another leap in there. Am I losing my mind? Yes, Alex, you're losing your mind. But these are the things that why the channel exists. You know, thinking of just like how things change and impact other things. The fact that, you know, look up who invented a certain thing or what culture first used the hamster wheel type cranes to, I don't know why I picked cranes, guys, but to move things where they would have people inside the actual siege towers or cranes, and they would turn a big lever on a tower that to lift or to drop things at a consistent pace. And this same time is also actually the same order, the Augustinian monks who perfected the siege wheel in the 12th century. One of their inventors, actually, who's famous for, he came up with a number of waterworks things that he worked similar to what Da Vinci would later work with. And I'm spacing on his name, but he also worked in Austria on the silver carp, which is one of the first domesticated fish in all of Europe. I have a whole video on silver or mirror carp, and they got iridophores to cover the entire fish. Rather than being gold, they wanted them to be silver. But moreover than that, they later bred them to have no scales because it took so long to scale fish, and fish were such a big part of food that it actually got rid of 1 or 2 people in a castle kitchen every night that would be using carp and other things when they could buy leather carp or raise leather carp. And this fish spread all across Europe. But also, same guy who's revolutionizing the breeding of fish, who came up with pump systems for the moat around the monk's castle that he happened to live in. It was like a monastery and castle, a keep. He came up with a screw type device that would lift water up, similar to like the Roman style one, but even like Archimedes, but even more complex. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm way off the tangent. But have a good one, Pond Puppies. Alex Johnny Best says, Alex, newbie question on how to research on how to set up a biotope specific tank step by step. Honestly, it totally depends. What is that? Oh, right. It totally depends on what your biotope is. You know, honestly, I would say set up a gravel aquarium is your best shot if you just want like blackwater aquarium, or if you want a if you want blackwater, if you want like a rift lake, something like that, you're going to need to not have a lot of botanicals. And if you're starting with neutral water, let's say, if you have 7.0 tap water, that's not very hard, maybe 100 TDS, 200 TDS max, then you're going to need to add crushed coral, and you're not going to want plants and organic stuff breaking down in there. But if you have a biotope where you want acidic water, then you go the other way, and you're going to want no crushed coral, no limestone, no siltstone, no dragonstone, no cereal stone, the things that can raise the pH and the TDS. So it really depends on what you want to do and if it has plants or not. So yeah, I could get into that more, I suppose. Maybe I should get into how to make a tank without plants, because I'm debating doing that for a real blackwater tank. But what I would do is I would take a look at Lake Tanganyikan tanks, how people set those up, and also blackwater tanks or live bearer tanks that are for hard water. Those are really the best ones for non-planted or for harder tanks or hard water. If you have hard water, it's kind of more easy in some cases. It's more easy to bring the TDS up by just adding crushed coral and or even adding spoons of powder every water change. But I mean, to bring the acidity down, or rather the pH down, the acidity, make it more acidic, it gets trickier because you can get to a certain point, but a lot of people can't get much past about neutral or 6.9. And when that's the case, you have to actually use water that is distilled or RODI water that has absolutely nothing in it, no TDS. And you put that water in a container only with organic stuff like plants or leaves and a little bit of wood and basically tannins, and you let that water get acidic. Then you buffer it with a little bit of aqua soil or a tiny bit of crushed coral. And I'm talking like a few tablespoons per 10 gallons or something. And that's enough that it should kind of hold the pH in its acidic range somewhere stable-ish. But to get things really acidic is not really a stable proposition anyways. But to get a TDS meter, to get, all your testing kits, that's going to help. But yeah, so I was just going to say, yeah, aragonite, exactly. Aragonite's great stuff. Limestone. If you're going the other way, some people use diatomaceous earth or some sort of, like I said, clay or non-carbonate based clay or silt, which will oftentimes lock up as well ammonia, nitrates, stuff like that over time. Cool videos from a cool guy. got my first Dumbo ear guppy from Petco. Any ideas on adding that strain into my guppies? Just do it. You're going to need those babies. So you got your Dumbo ear guppy, breed it to whatever guppies you have. Then you're going to take those babies and you're going to save that main guppy you bought, and you're going to breed those babies that you separate out. So make sure you know which babies it had. And so if it's a female Dumbo ear, you'll know she'll be pregnant. Move her aside and let her have her babies elsewhere. If it's a male mating with, and you need a female to mate with them, just pick any of your favorite females from a strain you have or from your whatever, and then make sure that one and the male with the Dumbo ears are in a tank alone, and that they spawn with just that kind. And so you know that male is the father. Now, if it's already been with other males, your females, they're probably already pregnant. And within 3 months old, they literally are almost always pregnant. So unless they're very young fry that aren't showing any color and you can only sex by the gonopodium fin, don't put them with that male and expect to get the genes first batch. There could be several batches of fry that need to be had before she'll have the fry that have the gene. So you got your Dumbo ear fish and your normal fish. They mate, they have babies. So none of those babies will probably have Dumbo ears. I think it's a double recessive. So the grandbabies of those fish need to be crossed back to that Dumbo ear again. At this point, if it's a single recessive, a single chromosome recessive, a single allele or dual allele single chromosome recessive, you will then be able to get 25% of the offspring of the great grandchildren. If you cross it back with the Dumbo again, 25 will have that gene. All will be carriers, and 75% won't have it. The next generation, if you take those babies and you cross them all to exclusively Dumbo males again, you should get 50%. Then all those yet again, you can get to 100% and have all recessive. At that point, you can just at that point you can take a male or female that is recessive in those genes and put them together. The cat is going nuts because my wife locked her out. Alex, what adaptations do we see in plants that live in places with sunlight for months at a time? Waxy cuticles is what we call it. Also turning red. The colors they turn are actually like sunscreen. So when a plant had a ton of light, it uses green, dark green. And once it's like, I've got all the light I can handle, I can't do anything more with this light, it starts actually using some of the other color wavelengths and using them as kind of a sunscreen, or as a way to say, all right, I can't use all that light, but I don't want to burn my tissue or dehydrate myself. So they form what's called a waxy cuticle, like Anubias or Boos or Java Fern has, where you feel it and it feels a little bit like rubber or vinyl, or a little bit like a plastic or wax on it. And that's why it's called a waxy cuticle. And that holds in the moisture much more. Also, the way they respirate and the way they let CO2 out and then oxygen in, and then at night, the reverse of that, it's done a little differently, and it's through the leaves, and they feed a lot more through the roots. So there's that. Yeah, but exactly. Ollie the Puffer said it best. It's best to just find 2 Dumbo ear fish if possible. Or if you really want to mix your genes in, definitely get the fish you want, get the Dumbo ear trait you want from a fish that looks as close as possible in color to yours as possible. Or you could go out and look for the most recessive fish possible that also has Dumbo ears. So what do I mean by that? I mean albino or blonde fish, or glass belly fish. So you know that glass belly, albino, blonde, platinum, any of those traits in a guppy will not be the priority. They will get dominant. They will have other traits become dominant, like colors, long fins, whatever the traits are in your Dumbo ear. It will overrule that more. So you'll get more of those Dumbo ear traits quicker if you're starting with a very recessive trait loaded individual you're crossing with. I did a test where they have 4 fathers, and yes, some trained guppy mothers can split them 4 ways in terms of genetics. Yes, so they've done research on this also, and they found that females. So I almost don't have time for this today, guys. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you, other than I have a video about that. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day will be out, about what happens when you get a bunch of fish that are dying in water that's not at the right pH for the tank that you have. So I have a neutral tank that I'm trying to get acidic, or I'm trying to get alkaline for the Florida fish coming. I didn't think the fish would come alive, so I was kind of on hold and just had that tank at neutral. They showed up and most were alive, but I still didn't want the water from the bag to go into my tank. So how do you acclimate fish that are 2.5 pH off? They were in almost 9.0 water from Florida's rock hard water. How do you acclimate them to 6.5 water in a reasonable amount of time, without just floating the bag and letting more water in gradually? Because then, you know, you're going to be cross-contaminating water, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to make a video about how you get around that. I don't know how I'm even going to title that, though. But the thing about guppies that I was going to say is, yeah, it's like a slow drip acclimation. Exactly. It's like doing a slow drip acclimation, meanwhile trying to raise the pH in the tank to match what was in the bag. So I tested the bags, and then yes, I did a drip acclimation essentially in another bucket, not in the aquarium. Then I put those fish all in the same aquarium, and now there's not much in the aquarium other than plants that I'm going to toss out. They're just there for comfort and to float around and grow and handle a little bit of nitrates while the tank is cycling with existing filter media. But I got the pH about halfway there. So I got it to about 7.5 to 8 pH in one night. From 6.5, I got it to about 7.5 or 8 pH. And it was at 9 in the bags. So talking about that, anyways, yeah, I got to figure out that. Also, or I got to figure out what to call that. The cat is going nuts. I don't know why she does this. She goes nuts right there in the corner on the ground by the door. No, you cannot go for the doorknob. I don't care if you've learned to grab the doorknob. She escaped earlier, and she knows what the freaking doorknob does. She knows the closet door has a handle like a handle like this on one side, and she knows to jump and hang on it and to open the door. She now knows that the doorknob turning is what opens the freaking door, and you guys just saw proof of her jumping up and whining and making crazy noise because my wife closed her door. So now she's trying to escape so that we'll come to the door and be like, "Kitty, don't escape." Anyways, so I was going to say the last thing I'm going to say tonight, and thank you guys so much for hanging out and for being here, and super chats, members, non-members, lurkers, all of y'all, thank you for being here. I can't do this without you. I love you guys, and I hope that those of you with a tough time going on right now, hope things get better, and I hope you feel better more than anything, because we can't control the things going on, hardly ever, but we can always control how we handle them and our mood about tomorrow being better, and being grateful for what we have. And I know I am immensely grateful for what I have. Is there things you want? Sure. But I have all I could need and way more. And that means, a lot, to have the food, the shelter, the medicine, even if it's expensive. So anyways, but what I was going to end this on is that, yeah, I got my hands full with Sumi. She's crazy. So guppies, they did research and they found in the wild guppy females, when they get a male genetic material and when they mate with the male, if the male's happy and healthy, they just let that genetic material stay in one of their two oviducts, which are like ovaries, kind of, or the fallopian tubes. They kind of have like these storage sections in between pregnancies. They can be viable for up to 2 years later. But what's crazier than that is that they then believe that the way that they're doing this, they can actually watch in their community, and they can mate with one male, then mate with another male, and then mate with another male. So they can mate with 3, 4. I think 4 is the max they've been able to witness this with. But 4 males, and then she can decide to have the second male or the third male's babies first, if that's what she thinks is the most fit. Now, is she consciously doing this? No. What happens is when she's stressed around the pheromones of the sperm from the male that is in question. So if male number 2 is acting a fool and he gets eaten, that's going to cause her to get scared, to run. It's going to cause her heart to pump, and it's going to release cortisols. When the cortisols get released in her blood and her oviducts sense that that male that was involved with her already is the culprit or is around, or he's the one who's harassing her maybe, and that's not in a good way, like not in a flirty way, she then, with her stress hormone, with this cortisol, it triggers another chemical to be like a boat anchor and to hang on to male number two's sperm, the tail of it. So those sperms are all slowed down compared to the other 3 males she mated with. So now when she opens the little valve in her body and in her internally, and they all race towards the fertilization of her babies, the ones that were from males that were stressing her out or that were abusive or violent, or she sees that the male is just unhealthy looking or unfit, that will stress her out enough knowing she mated with him that those or those sperm, I should say, will have like 5 or 6 molecules hanging on their tail, and they will not be able to swim at all, hardly. But if she then decides, number 3 is also kind of a loser, she can also then put 2, depending on the amount of her stress, maybe 2 little things go on the tails of those sperm. So now she's elected with probability which sperm are even going to make it to pregnancy based on which males stressed her out. It's absolutely fascinating. And there is a professor by the name, I think he used to be at UBC, but I think he's at UCLA Riverside, and his name is Resnick. Resnick. I believe it's, what is it? I don't remember his first name. Jason Resnick, Nick Resnick. Anyways, he is the guy when it comes to species, fitness and selection and stuff in guppies. He actually has a degree in what was it? It's crazy because you can major in it. It's marine biology / ichthyology, and then it's social interaction psychology. So it's like considered like marine biology, so the sociology, or what is it, sociological ichthyology or something crazy like that, but it's sociological behavior in fish, which is wild. But Jessica Nicole, I'm glad if you caught this live stream. Sorry if you're just catching me at the end. but I got to wrap it up. You can always go back and watch it. Really do appreciate it. Ollie the pufferfish, we got one more super chat. Thank you so much. You guys, super chatters, you guys really do make a big difference. Just being a member makes a huge difference. And you get access to all the audio episodes, which, you know, I should make some more of, like, pronto. And also, you know, you get some of the behind the scenes info and posts and things on the community tab. Plus, we got the Discord, but it's free now to get access to all of the documents. Any research I make or any infographics I make will be on the Discord in the documents folder for all to see, whether you have money to be a member, whether you're a Discord or a YouTube member, it doesn't matter. You can just go there for free and check it out now. Because I want education to be free. And if you want to keep that going, you want to spread that goodwill, just become a member, $1.99 or $2.99, depending on if you use Apple or whatever. And I appreciate it so much. Johnny just gave another membership away. Thank you very kindly to whoever gets that. They're very, very lucky to have Johnny present. He is a gift giver extraordinaire for this community, and he loves learning like I do. I love it. All right, you guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for sharing your time and evening with me, and I will see you on Friday for sure, as long as I'm standing, as long as I am conscious. Have a wonderful night and take care, my friends. I'll see you in the videos. Look at my eyes. I'm seeing double vision.